Good evening, students. Today we'll see physiology of vision. As usual, I will tell 5 points, essential points. Okay. First, you have two eyes with three layers. Okay, the eyeball has three layers: the outer scleral layer, middle choroid layer, and the inner retina layer. Okay, and this retina layer contains totally 10 layers. Out of this, you have pigment epithelium, the layer of rods and cones. They are very important. They act as telereceptors. Then you have bipolar cells. Then you have ganglion cells, and the axons of the ganglion cells, they form the optic nerve. And in the retina, you have a area of high visual acuity, which you call it as yellow spot or macula lutea. So in the macula lutea, the center portion is called fovea centralis, which is rich in cones, and it is the area of high visual acuity. And we have another lateral to that, we have the physiological blind spot, which is called the optic disc. The optic disc is nothing but the point of exit of the optic nerves, and it acts like a physiological blind spot. And we have two refractive layers in the eye. One is the cornea, other one is the lens. If the total length of the eye is 60 diopters, 44 diopters is contributed by the cornea, and 16 diopters is contributed by lens. Both these structures are acting like a refractive index, a refractive media. They are very important refractive surfaces. And coming to the errors of refraction, an emmetropic eye means when the parallel rays of light are brought to focus on the retina, it is an emmetropic eye or a normal eye. When the parallel rays of light are brought to focus in front of the retina, it is a myopic eye, and it will be corrected by using biconcave lens. When the parallel rays of light are brought to focus beyond the retina, it is hypermetropic eye, and it is corrected using biconvex lens. So these are the errors of refraction. And the third error is presbyopia. Presbyopia is not presbyopia. Third error is astigmatism. So where the rays of light are brought to focus on multiple focal points, and it is due to irregularity in the curvature of the cornea. So this will be corrected by using cylindrical lens. Then we have presbyopia. So presbyopia is actually not an error of refraction. It occurs after the age of 40, where the lens is not able to bulge, or not able to relax, not able to focus on the near objects. That is the loss of accommodation or accommodative power that leads to presbyopia, and this is corrected by using convex lens. So this is regarding the errors of refraction. And regarding color vision, the receptor for the color vision is the cones, and we have the color blindness. The red color blindness is called as protonopia, blue color blindness is called as tritonopia, and green color blindness is called as deuteranopia. So this is regarding the color vision and the errors of refraction. Coming to the third point, we have the rhodopsin cycle. So what is rhodopsin cycle? It is a cycle which explains how the light energy is converted into action potential. So first the light falls on the rhodopsin in the rods. So this rhodopsin pigment contain vitamin A retinine in the form of all trans form, and a protein opsin. Now when light falls, there is a conversion of this rhodopsin into bath rhodopsin, lumirhodopsin, and metarhodopsin. These are the intermediates, and this metarhodopsin 2 is very important. It activates an enzyme phosphodiesterase, which decreases the second messenger cyclic GMP, and this causes the closure of sodium channel. Usually there is a opening of sodium channel. We will talk in physiology. Here is the area where there is a closure of sodium channel, which leads to hyperpolarization, and that causes the generation of the action potential. And this metarhodopsin again, it is the all trans form is converted into Levensis form, and this Levensis retinal again combined with scotopsin in the dark, and there is a regeneration of rhodopsin in the dark. So the cycle continues, and there is an interconversion of retinal form and retinol form by the enzyme isomerase. So all these are the forms of vitamin A. Now the fourth point is the visual pathway. So the visual pathway is it explains how the light travels from the retina to the visual cortex. So the light signal first carried by the retinal fibers. The retina have two fibers, one is the nasal fiber, other one is the temporal fiber. The temporal fiber carries the nasal field, the nasal fiber carries the temporal field of vision. Now the optic nerve contains the two fibers, nasal fibers and temporal fibers. So the nasal fibers of each eye crosses to the opposite side. So from the optic nerve there is optic chiasma. The optic chiasma is where there is a crossing of the nasal fibers, and after the optic chiasma the optic tract is formed. The optic tract is made up of temporal fibers of same side and nasal fibers of the opposite side. Then there is a relay in the lateral geniculate body of the thalamus, then optic radiations, then the visual area. So this is the relay. So optic nerve, optic chiasma, optic tract, lateral geniculate body of thalamus, optic radiations and visual area in the occipital lobe. So this is the visual pathway. And the fifth point is the field defects. So if the optic nerve is damaged, there is a complete blindness of the eye on that side. If optic chiasma is damaged, there is bitemporal hemianopia. And if optic tract is damaged, there is homonymous hemianopia. Okay, if it is right side means right sided homonymous hemianopia. So like that, it is homonymous hemianopia. If lateral geniculate body is damaged, there is a lesion, again we have homonymous hemianopia. And in optic radiations, we have superior and inferior fibers. Superior fibers crossing the parietal lobe and inferior fibers crossing the temporal lobe. And when there is a damage, you have the quadrant hemianopia. So that is a quadrant will be affected. Then comes the visual cortex. So when there is a damage in the occipital lobe anterior part, you have homonymous hemianopia with macula sparing. And if the occipital pole is involved, there is a macular field defect only present. So these are the 5 points regarding the physiology of vision. Thank you.